back to the Daily Grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. You know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
With Jon Jones failing his UFC 214 drug test and his B sample coming back dirty, confirming the findings of his A sample, testing positive for steroids, the UFC light heavyweight division's course is looking like it's about to change drastically. It was looking like Alexander Gustafsson was going to get the next title shot versus Jon Jones. Jon Jones might fight Brock Lesnar. Rumble Johnson might come back if he can get a shot at Jon Jones. Now all of that has changed. Now Alexander Gustafsson might not get the next title shot. Rumble Johnson might never come back because Daniel Cormier's already beat him twice. Brock Lesnar's out of the picture. Now Daniel Cormier, we're looking at after he comes back from his medical suspension and after all of this, it boils over because we don't know how long it's going to take for him to get his title back, when he's going to be ready to fight again. But since Jon Jones isn't going to be ready to fight Gustafsson at the end of the year, he won't be the champion. Now Volkan Oezdemir, surging light heavyweight contender, is coming out and calling out Alexander Gustafsson. He said he wants Alexander Gustafsson next, and he's going to knock him out in the first round. Volkan Oezdemir, man, he's a fucking savage. He's came out. He's been the underdog. He came out of nowhere pretty much. He's only had 3 fights in the UFC. His very first fight was a split decision versus Ovince St. Preux. His next fight was versus Misha Cirkunov, who was on a 4-fight winning streak. A lot of people picked Misha Cirkunov to win that fight. He was streaking. He was on a winning streak in the UFC, and it was only Volkan's second fight in the UFC. He came out and knocked out Misha Cirkunov in 28 seconds. It was granted a fight versus Jimmy Manuwa. Then again, Jimmy Manuwa, who's been in the top 5 of the UFC for a while now, people were still picking him to go out there and clip up Volkan because Volkan only had 2 fights in the UFC. Comes out there and knocks out Jimmy Manuwa. Now Volkan Oezdemir has established himself as a top 5 light heavyweight contender. He's on a finishing spree, a knockout spree. He looks like a beast, man. His name's Volkan. How can you not like that name? Volkan! Volkan Oezdemir, man, this is what he had to say. He had to say a lot of stuff about Alexander Gustafsson and the stuff going on. He said, I think a fight with Daniel Cormier or a fight with Gustafsson are most likely next me. But I think the best option for me to fight next is Gustafsson. The situation isn't very clear with the belt, so in the meantime, I would like to fight Gustafsson for the #1 contender spot. Maybe after that I can fight DC for the belt. I think because he was the champion, and with what has happened to Jones, he deserves to fight for the belt. It's a smart choice for him not to fight me, talking of Gustafsson. He's right there for the belt too. His next fight was supposed to be for the belt, so because of that, fighting me would be completely stupid. He would lose his spot if he fights me, and he will go down and lose 1 year of his life. And I understand he wants to be smart. He's coming back from an injury. Now he thinks it's his time to fight for the belt. He doesn't want to lose it. Also, I'm here. I want to fight. I need to fight. I haven't seen the Glover Teixeira fight yet with Alexander Gustafsson because I was in the locker room talking to my family and stuff. I didn't really take time to watch the fight. I did see the finish. I see my fight with Gustafsson the same way his fight with Anthony Johnson did. This is exactly what's going to happen to him. He would not leave the first round. Definitely not. Let's fucking go. How can you not like it when a heavyweight or a light heavyweight's promising a first round knockout after coming off of 2 vicious knockouts? Volkan Oezdemir's doing his thing. He's laying it out there. He's laying it out there. It'd be smart not to fight me. So if you ain't got a man on deck, don't fight me. If you want to wait for your title. But he is right. I wonder how Gustafsson feels about this. I wonder if Gustafsson is like, I don't care who's got the title, out of Jones and DC. I just want that title shot. Or if he's willing to wait for Daniel Cormier to come back and all of this to be handled and him to actually get his title back, then get a fight scheduled. Or if he's down to fight Volkan in the meantime, in between time. Either way, it's going to be a great fight if it does happen. But if Alexander Gustafsson decides to wait for his title shot, i.e. Tony Ferguson or somebody who feels like they've deserved a title shot and that's what they're going to wait on, then Alexander Gustafsson, that's fine because, hey, he's earned it, I guess. I mean, If you're a Volkan fan, you might not be too happy with that, but that's, you know, the people, that's just the way of history. Most people in the UFC, once they feel like they're guaranteed a title shot, that they've earned it, they usually sit still. That's happened in multiple divisions, in the lightweight division, the middleweight division recently. I mean, Damian Maia, he fought Jorge Masvidal, but still, I mean, the belt is where the money is, so maybe Alexander Gustafsson takes the fight, because Alexander Gustafsson, he is to me, besides Daniel Cormier, Alexander Gustafsson is the next best light heavyweight on the planet, with John Jones out of the picture, because Alexander Gustafsson's a savage. I don't know. I mean, he's one of the biggest guys in the division. He's got an overall well-around game. He's did the best against John Jones. And Alexander Gustafsson said he believed John Jones was cheating when they fought. As much damage as Alexander Gustafsson did to John Jones in their first fight, man, what if clean John Jones fought Gustafsson, man? I don't know. That's just making me think about John Jones testing 30, man. That's all of Alexander Gustafsson, Daniel Cormier, man. Who knows how this whole division would have been shaped? John Jones might have had some losses. This whole fucking light heavyweight division could have been shaped differently if John Jones was clean the entire time and he lost to like Gustafsson or Daniel Cormier. That would just that would be crazy. That's like the damn butterfly effect and shit. If he would have got caught before one of those fights, the whole UFC would be different. But all right, off of that crazy shit, man. I hope this fight does happen. I don't know how long it's gonna take Daniel Cormier to get back into training. He did say that he was already offered a fight before all of this John Jones stuff played out. Daniel Cormier was already offered a fight, so he probably won't be out too much longer. I expect Daniel Cormier will be back maybe December 30th, if not at latest January, February, early 2018. So it is what it is, man. Let the hitters know what the fuck you tell me in the comments. Do you want to see Volkan Oezdemir versus Gustafsson, or do you think Gustafsson should wait for his title shot? I'm out. I told my girlfriend that she drew her eyebrows on too high. She seemed surprised.